All right, the British response to the bombings, the Provos are going to be doing events like Bloody Friday. Now, the British are going to send in 20 soldiers for every 1,000 citizens in Northern Ireland. That's going to be the ratio sent across. This is going to be the largest ratio of soldiers to citizens in what's considered an insurgency in world history. This is a drastically large number of soldiers being sent into a relatively small nation, simply to try to bring about peace. Now, there's going to be the belief that Northern Ireland could not ensure peace. Being a part of the United Kingdom, Cape Britain is feeling that Northern Ireland has had a chance to bring about peace. They simply haven't done it. Therefore, this cannot work. So they're going, and they can't do it. They're kind of failing. They don't know what's going about, and they're going to then go over and take over direct rule of Northern Ireland. So in reality, they're almost kind of taking away Northern Ireland's somewhat independence, and somewhat unity kind of as their own when they're still united to the United Kingdom, but they can kind of run things on their own. That's kind of gone away. We talked earlier about the issue of home rule in one of the first sections of this playlist. This is kind of taking that away a little bit, which is going to anger a number of unionists at this time period. They're thinking this is very problematic. We can control ourselves. It's the nationalists that are causing the issues. However, the British are going to be sending soldiers in really to take control of the situation, because they have a much more capable kind of military force, or so they believe, and that Northern Ireland has had a history of not doing this well, and therefore they need to come in to bring about some stability. The Provos additionally are going to be incredibly upset with direct rule, because this is kind of going back to the way it was in the 1800s, pre the Irish Anglo War and division. They don't want the British controlling Ireland. They think this is problematic. They should not be having this happening, and they don't want this. They're going to continue their fight, and they're going to continue their violence, and they're going to state that they will not stop until Ireland is reunified as one independent nation, independent of Great Britain. They're even going to ignore a ceasefire in 1972 because that's really how strong they feel. So the British are going to come in and send in soldiers, 20 for every 1,000, and really both sides are not very happy about this event, to put it nicely. This is going to bring us to the Stunningdale Agreement. Now, the Stunningdale Agreement is going to be signed December 9th, 1973, and as an attempt to bring a resolution to the conflict. It's going to establish two different things. It's going to establish a Northern Irish executive and a cross-border Council of Ireland. So you're going to have a leader of Northern Ireland, and you're going to have a cross-border council, so Catholics and Protestants, nationalist unionists, all working together, really to establish some form of government in Northern Ireland. Unionist opposition to this is incredibly strong. They're going to be seeing this as really a too lenient way of going and giving the nationalists really what they've been fighting for, in their views, using terrorism to come for. They don't like this at all, and they want it gone. So their opposition is strong. The Ulster Workers' Council is going to call for a strike. The vast majority of those working essential services, like sanitation, those working in the electrical power plants, these kind of jobs are going to be Protestant members of this, opposed to the Stunningdale Agreement, and they're just going to stop working, which is going to shut down essential services throughout Northern Ireland. It's going to lead to 2 weeks of rioting, shortages, and intimidation. Ultimately, the executive that was just appointed and put in is going to have to step down. The electrical grid is going to come back, and they're going to also realize really the problem that this could have. The Ulster Workers' Council effectively had total control over the agreement by their ability to shut everything down. The British are going to be unwilling to intervene, and this agreement is ultimately going to fail. The British are unwilling to send in troops to really bring about and really to go and force the Stunningdale Agreement into effect and stop those who are calling the strike and shutting it down, and the agreement will ultimately fail. Although it is ultimately going to be a failure, it is going to be a significant step in the right direction towards peace, and it's going to be kind of the thing that's going to really kind of be the groundwork and the foundation for the Good Friday Agreement, which will be coming up at ends the troubles in the late 90s. Comments, questions, anything, put it down below. Otherwise, see you later. Good luck.